Hey, good morning, Syfe.
Good afternoon.
Good evening in some cases.
Good night.
And
the fourth meal.
Fourth meal. I can't believe you've added that to this.
I love it.
I don't know how this is his first time on Juan Epstein.
It's disrespectful.
It's borderline disrespectful. I don't know who should feel disrespected, though, him or us. Because why?
Like both.
Probably
Like
a little bit disrespectful on both ends. But
everybody looks disrespected.
Everyone looks and feels disrespected. Our friend Bun B is here today on Juan Epstein.
Yes.
Bun, Uncle
Hola.
Bun.
Hola.
How are you, man?
I'm tired, but I'm great.
Like, when are you not doing something? Like, you are always doing something.
I'm obligated
To
to do things while I'm alive because you can't.
culture?
Well, just
Life?
just with life
Yourself?
because you can't really do too much when you're dead.
You did turn up after Pimp C passed. Was that part of it? Like, you were just like, damn, this
No,
isn't
he was turned up
guaranteed.
before that.
But this is a different level.
Well, I mean,
Pimp C in jail.
when
He
Pimp
was-
C in jail, I turned up,
yeah.
and then
He started being on mad features and
well, it turns out now, like looking back in retrospect, that it was kind of him going to jail kind of prepared me for him passing away.
yeah.
So like when he went to jail, I wasn't really sure what I was supposed to do.
Right.
So I was just kind of feeling my way around in that situation. But because we'd had the experience of recording and performing and promoting without him due to his incarceration, we kind of knew exactly what we had to do when he passed away. It didn't make it any easier to do it,
not that
but,
it would.
But we knew what we had to do
This
as
is
opposed to the
And
first
that it was
time.
possible.
Yeah, absolutely. That's the key thing too.
It's not like you had like a group breakup.
He just wasn't
no,
there.
it's
Two
a-
different life-changing scenarios
Basically.
that made you had to like turn into this new Bun B that we know.
And that's what life does, man. Life forces you to become who you never thought you could be.
So does it help the grieving process of just losing someone you're close to like a brother when people talk about them and represent them all day, every day?
There's so many things that I have forgotten that we'd been through, and it's always good to see people from certain parts of our lives that can come and talk about stories and good times and memories that I basically smoked and drank away. So, in that sense, yeah. And then, it's refreshing to know that someone who's been gone close to 5 years now, it's almost 5 years,
Jeez.
he's been gone, and people still talk about him, for the most part, in the present.
Yeah.
It's, some people say R.I.P. Pimp C, but then if I have conversations with people about Pimp C, then it becomes a story, it becomes a tale, and he comes alive again. And
I
I
can't believe it's 5 years.
No.
it's crazy.
I look at my friends at age when they pass 25 or whatever, and I'm like, you're now older than Biggie was.
That's insane, I know.
Biggie is my reference point to like age and like how much you could do at
really?
23, 24.
Me too.
He
He's
died at
24.
what? 24, right? Drewski's older than when Biggie died now.
Right. Biggie was more of a kid
Yeah.
than Drewski.
A kid.
Schoolboy Q,
All
older than
that-
Biggie.
And when you look at Biggie with all his pimp gear and hats and Versace, he was a kid dressing up.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying it wasn't real, but I'm just saying.
Oh, but I mean, and the thing is, he's this larger than life adult that we picture. But you're right, he's 24. Have
And
you
that's
got-
But he was very
20
mature. Biggie was very mature.
He was, but think about it. He didn't even experience his second album coming out. It's not like he went through the process of performing his second album and then became more mature. Like, he died before it came out.
That's how it was with Pimp. When Pimp came home, we recorded an album, a double album, and he died before it even hit the streets.
But at least he had, that was what, fifth album or something?
Sixth? What was it?
Oh no, it was deeper than that.
Even deeper.
Because he had like maybe 2 solo albums at that point too.
Yeah.
So it was like 7th, 8th
What,
studio release.
Did you have any Biggie run-ins?
Oh yeah,
How old
I
you know
have a
him?
great Biggie story.
Here we go.
Set it off.
I'm in Atlanta at the BMI offices. I'm on promo doing promoting Super Tight, I believe was the album we were promoting. So we're in Atlanta that day, and they're like, yeah, you guys come over to the office. We're doing this big thing for Craig Mack. Flavor in Your Ear had just went gold. Juicy was still at like maybe 420, 430. A lot of people that maybe not remember that, how quick Craig blew.
Yeah.
And then the Big just kind of came and just eclipsed it, but Bad Boy was killing it.
Yeah,
so
Craig was first.
Craig was
big,
first,
the
and
big
Craig,
Bad Boy.
Yeah, no, Craig opened the gates for Bad Boy, and so we go into the thing, and we're in the big meeting room or whatever, and different people in different places, and I see Big, And here's another thing that people probably don't remember. The Biggie album, probably the first album was out for what, 7-8 months bootleg before it hit the streets.
The first version of it was a while before.
Oh, really? I never knew that.
Oh, I'd heard.
It was different though.
Yeah, different versions of songs.
I got you.
The one that recently came out again.
Right, I know what you mean.
But I didn't hear it back then.
So I was big on this kid. Like, yo, this dude is nice, like for real.
And you've always been the way you are now, where you're aware of everything that comes out?
No, without question.
Okay.
So when we get there, no, seriously.
His nerd game's serious.
So when we get there and I see everybody's like, oh, Craig Mack, I need to talk to Big Man. Big Man is nice.
No, people were like this though. Ah, Craig Mack.
So you're the worst.
Sorry.
So you throwing me off here. You killing me. So I go over to Biggie and I introduce myself. I'm like, yo, I'm Bun B with the rap group UGK. He was like, oh yeah, y'all got the Pocket Full of Stones joint on the Minute soundtrack. I was with 8, and he was like, I was with MC 8 in LA, and he kept trying to play his song, and I kept telling him to play y'all shit again. Like, I like that. That's that real street shit. So I was like, I appreciate it. I heard your shit. I like it. Real street shit. We're about to go outside and smoke if you want to smoke. He's like, yeah, no problem. So we go out to the car. I'm trying to be a nice. I'm like, yo, you can sit in the front seat. You know, he's like, no, I'm going to sit in the back. I'm like, okay, cool. So he gets in the back and then,
Whose car is this?
This is my car.
What was it? What were you driving?
It was a rental car because we were in promo. So
little Buick?
Maybe a Buick, maybe a
little Impala.
Hyundai Accent.
Maybe a Ford Tempo.
Okay, nice Tempo. Something nice.
This is 93, so maybe a nice Tempo, something like that. Taurus. Might have been a Taurus.
Taurus, that's not bad. Well, that means you were going mid-size at least.
So he gets in the back seat and he doesn't close the door. So he's just sitting there and I'm like, yo, close the doors, but keep the smoking side. He's like, nah, I'm good, So I'm like, this all seems very strange. It didn't occur to me till later. He sat in the back seat so that no one could sit behind him.
Right, on some mafia shit?
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking.
And then he sat in with the door open so that I couldn't pull off with him.
Which is crazy because at that point, my thought process would be, I'm going to just go ahead and not smoke with these guys.
No, he got smoked.
No, he's going to smoke, but under his terms and conditions. I just thought it was very ill. That
at some point, could you see that he got comfortable?
Yeah, eventually. I mean, he was comfortable enough to come out and smoke, but I think, he was just, mentally trained to react to certain ways in certain situations.
Not only that, but also at that time,
Yes,
people were about their shit, and you were rhyming about street shit.
So you never know.
Like, what I'm saying? You might have been more than an artist. You might have been someone who was trying to be, Biggie's talking his shit in New York. He thinks he runs shit.
Yeah.
You don't run
what was
shit.
He, 18? 19?
Might have been 19 or 20. No, because he had to be about 20. He had to be about 20.
20
years
4 years
old.
before his album.
Yeah, from Brooklyn. That's the attitude that New Yorkers get that bad rap when they go out of town and they think they're all that. It's also some of that. It's that careful New York shit, always watching your back.
Well, you gotta move a certain way in New York City. Coming here for over 20 years, I understand New Yorkers better because I understand New York better.
Yeah.
If you don't have that extensive experience of being in New York, and not just being in New York like I'm staying at the W in Times Square. That ain't New York. I'm talking about being in Queensbridge with Nori at 4 or 5 in the morning on Saturday night.
That's not an experience. I don't feel I need that experience.
Yeah,
And I love Nori, but I'm not going to get that experience. You do, though. How near and dear is New York to you? You spend a lot of time here.
I spend a lot of time in New York, and I would love to just live here for like a year. Like just a calendar year. My wife won't move. My wife, she doesn't like cold weather. She's a germaphobe, and she's claustrophobic.
All right, well, no.
So New York is so not.
So get a divorce. Cool. And you can spend a year in New York. She ain't coming.
Sure, let's all get divorced, guys. What do you want to do?
Oh my God, 3 of us move in together.
In a place together?
Yeah. All right, now I like how you're talking.
I think we can sell this sitcom to TV.
Yeah, this is not bad.
Let's move to like Bushwick, Brooklyn or something.
Get a nice little pad. It'll be like the movie Big. We'll get a trampoline and shit. It'll be fucking awesome.
Little barbecue in the back.
I love where this is going.
I don't.
All right, me neither. Can we get the story of Big Pimpin'?
I was at a fish market getting some fried fish, getting ready to get on the highway.
There you go.
And my phone rang. It was like a block call or whatever.
I like
so
how
I answered the
phone
phone.
reference has to be.
Very few. One of the very few times that I answered like block calls and shit like that. So
something told you to answer it?
Just like, who's this playing on my phone? So I answered the phone and like, who is this? It's like, yo, it's Jay. It's Jay-Z. I'm like, yo, I don't have time to
Yeah,
be playing with this shit. Please stop. You know, I don't know.
Well, Jay was already. Yeah, Jay was
Even
already.
polite
I never met him.
to crank callers.
I didn't have any idea
Come on,
who.
please.
You know, I'd never given him my number. I had no idea who could have given him my number. So I'm like, somebody's playing on my phone. I hung up, calls right back, and then in very distinctly profound
Jay-Z
way that only Jay-Z can enunciate, yo, family. And when you hear that, that family, I was like, yo, this is fucking Jay-Z on my phone. I'm talking to Pimp. The Pimp's in the front seat. I'm in the back. I'm like, this is fucking Jay-Z on my phone. What do you want? I'm like, what's good? And he was like, yo, I got this record. I think it's hot. I think you guys would be great on it. You know, let's see what we can do to make this happen. So I told Pimp, I'm like, he got a song.
Would
Shit, let's hear it.
whoever he got the number from, did you ever find out?
Chaka Zulu.
Okay. When Jay said, I want to get UGK on a record, does that person automatically say, call Bun? Would anybody call Pimp?
Here's what happened. Here's a funny story in the middle of this story. Jay-Z had originally reached out to Pimp C for It Was All Good just a week ago.
It was all good just a week ago.
A song he did with Too Short.
Yeah.
So he was like, I think it was Dame that actually made the call at that time. I was like, we got this record. We want you on this record. You know what I'm saying? And Pimp's like, all right, well, shit, I got the new studio. He had just bought a new house, had a new studio put up in Atlanta. So he was like, y'all come to Atlanta. We'll knock out the record, you know, hang out, have some good food, and chill. So they were like, well, Jay's not leaving New York right now, because this is like in the middle of the East Coast, West Coast beat. So he's like, Jay's not leaving New York right now. Pimp say, well, shit, I ain't leaving the South right now, so I guess we ain't gonna do it then. So, boom, song
So
never
next
happened.
time he wants you, he's like,
Try
I think I'll
Bun
call
B.
Bun this time.
Yeah. So they call me, Pimp again, not interested, you know, very indifferent about doing a record.
Like if it's let's hear it. If it's
Always? He was always like that.
No, just for this particular record.
Oh.
So they're like, come to New York, and you know, let's record it. So I'm like, Pimp, they wants to come to New York and do the record. I ain't going to New York. You can go. I ain't going. I told last time I wasn't going. You know, I'm like, all right, whatever. I'm like, well, I want to go see fucking Rockefeller Records. I want to see how these niggas is getting it. I want to see if it's real. All I'm seeing is TV. I want to see if this shit is real. I come up to New York. You know, walk in the Rockefeller office. It's like 100 pairs of Air Force One Rockefellers in there to like grab a pair. I wasn't crazy about Air Force One, so I didn't take one.
You didn't take one?
Big mistake.
Wow.
Big mistake.
I have a pair of those.
So we talk, you know.
9.5.
I asked him a bunch of questions, trying to feel them out. They asked me some questions, trying to feel us out or whatever. Go to the studio. I hear his verse. I write my verse. I bring it back, like the session. And this is during the time of, you know, this is before Pro Tools and emails. So, like, they had to literally send, like, the 2-inch reels for the song.
Big Pimpin'?
Yeah.
Really? It was still reels?
99.
Yeah.
I believe it.
Yeah, 99.
And Pimp's like, I'm not rapping on this shit. There's some real pop ass shit, and I'm not doing this shit. I'm like, you crazy? This is a great opportunity. This dude is the hottest fucking thing in the world. He just had the fucking Annie record. The niggas rap to Annie. Like, forget about it. Like, this dude could put anybody on this record if he wants. Like, we should get on this record. It'd be a good look. He was like, I'm not fucking with it. People gonna think we pop and shit like that because it was not a hood record by any means. So I'm like, well, fine. You don't want to do it? Fine. Fuck it. Don't do it. I'll send the shit back. Don't worry about it. Every now and then I had to use reverse psychology to get Pimp C to do certain things. So he's like, all right, Bun B, fuck it. I'll do it for you. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to rap on this. I'm going to give him 8 bars. Fuck it. I'm going to do it, but I ain't going to do it 8 bars. I don't give a shit what you do. Just get on the record. Don't blow this opportunity. This could be big, you know? So the record, you know, was big and it blew up, but then exactly what he said was going to happen. Like, you know, we had a lot of people who didn't know us, you know, so people kind of thought that was what we did. Like, even if you weren't crazy about Pimp C, you had to admit, yo, he gives a, whatever it is he's talking, he gives a fuck about that.
Yeah.
Like, and you're not going to change his mind on it. You couldn't tell him Atlanta wasn't in the South. I don't give a fuck if you pulled out the map and you broke it down historically, whatever. That's how he felt about
He
that.
felt
and
what?
he was going to, that Atlanta wasn't in the South.
Was not?
Yeah.
He didn't consider Atlanta the South.
No, because it was on East Coast. It was on Eastern Standard Time.
He thinks the South was on Eastern Standard Time.
Hey.
I love.
That's it. That's it.
I love that you can just picture the Bun's argument with him right now, like having a logical argument. Like, no,
Certain things you can't. Certain if that's what there's no arguing that.
no. That's
What do you mean Atlanta's not the South? It ain't the South. They're on East Coast time. Okay, that's how.
All right, thank you.
All right, that's how you're paying that. I'm not even going there. I'm not touching that.